All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we are taking a look at the wheat sector, and we're going to start with TLRY and ACB. Man, rough chart to say the least. All right, and man, Thursday was just so devastating. I think a lot of expectations were on the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. I think a couple other people, like I think the 11th was the expected date, if I'm not mistaken. Nonetheless, look, there was definitely no big major hearing. There was no, and if there was, maybe there was, and I just missed that actual hearing happened. I heard nothing juicy. You know what I mean? And end of the day, when the news expectations don't hit, the technicals are going to take over. And really, what I see is this break was not justified, and that's basically what we'll be going over shortly. All right. The other interesting thing to say is obviously I'm gonna cover SNDL. I like calling it Sandal, but I'm gonna cover Sandal on my next video. But SNDL had a similar Thursday, real nasty just drop. So they both made a really similar run to that 100 moving average too. So I at least wanted to call that out just in case you're looking at this one and not that one. But yeah, a combination of the 100 moving average and not the federalization news expectation, that was a mouthful to say, I think really contributed to that nasty Thursday. So, but before we go any deeper in the details, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We do have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like, subscribe, share, comment, anything you can do really does help with YouTube algorithm, excuse me. But for real, just giving me your time is super appreciated. And hey, if you've got different opinions than me, I promise I'd love to hear from them and hear from you, and I'm not here to hate on them, all right? So let's get into the details real quick. And again, I think really the moral of the story is when the news doesn't hit, the technicals are going to do their thing. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if I would call this a buy the rumor, sell the news, because there wasn't even any real news. The way I'm looking and reading the headlines, you know I don't do that deep like news dive. And if you actually have better info about like the news and the Senate hearing and all that, let me know. But as far as I can tell, nothing major happened. I do believe the expectation was on the 11th, and when the 11th didn't hit, well, I mean, the market reacts accordingly, right? So the real bad thing is we lose 4 moving averages on a single day. We really do try to get back towards like 50% candle towards the 8 moving average. Like that wick was a good try, but end of the day, we actually close under it, right? And green can really become red really quickly, right? So this better hold 236, like this better hold, and we gotta get back into the moving averages. Like if this thing fails to close around, I mean, I'll even, yeah, 246, like 245 is going to be a little too low. That's pretty much on. Yeah, 245 will still break it. 245 is the must close on Monday. Otherwise, oh man, I'm going to start getting worried because what happens under 236? All-time lows deeper and deeper, right? And that is not where you want to be. So, not really a great weekly either. It looks like the MACD's kind of coming down. RSI looks like it's coming down. MACD's been pretty flat. It's definitely in the negative a little more than I want, but oh man, yeah, there's like we're under all moving averages. This is I'll actually call this a little bit more of a doji than a confirmation, but like look, I really believe we're either going to come towards this 236 or hopefully we at least close around 245-ish. That's like the bare minimum. Obviously, coming up to 250-ish would be great. That would put us over these 2 lines, but I'm going to be honest right now. I'm just trying to take this 1 line at a time. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. And again, that's one of the big problems in my opinion with buying a stock and being dependent on like the news movement. You know what I mean? When it doesn't hit, it's a scary thing to say the least. You know what I mean? And I'm less concerned about this percentage. I'm kind of trying to do the math in my head real quick. It's about a 30. This actually only looks like it was about a 10% drop, give or take. But that's a devastating candle. For me, it's more about losing the 4 moving averages than anything. You know what I mean? So ACB, I think, was and look, I was obviously very bullish on ACB, right? We break the 8, we doji, we break the 20, but I always say, look, I don't care if you break it on a single day. I need confirmation, right? And it looked like it wanted to go up. All I really needed was it to close, like, give or take around here-ish, right? My cat wants to go outside. Give me a second. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let's go. Come on. I'm done. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Get out of there. I gotta close the door. Okay. Sorry about that. ACB did not confirm and it dropped a lot quicker. I keep saying if ACB runs, the sector will run. You know what I mean? And man, this thing looked like it was going to finally escape the 20 and the 8 moving average. We are now well back under. And look, once we lose the biggest candle in that little area, it just becomes a thing. I am going to draw this line because I do think this is now going to be an important line. Just kind of going forward, we at least set a new, now it's a resistance since we're 2 days under it pretty drastically in my opinion. But yeah, that's a scary MACD. That's pretty irrelevant RSI, but that's horrible volume. And again, volume just keeps going down instead of what we were hoping was going up, right? I know I was talking about it kind of doing that. Now, obviously, irrelevant. This is sad. Again, what looked like was going to be a good thing. Again, I think very much because of the news expectation, just flounders, which is horrible, right? Look, I know we're all waiting for really big movements in the sector. I am very much a fan of the sector, right? Like, I'm not here pretending I'm not. That said, I just don't have the deep bankroll to like wait. You know what I mean? So trade safely out there using the lines to kind of anticipate when to get in. Otherwise, it's just going to be a long, long wait until some big laws change, in my opinion. So trade safely out there. I very much appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you.